Good afternoon, one and all. On behalf of Eti Shakti, the Students' League of Etiraj College for Women, I, Dr. Archana Soman, extend a warm welcome to our resource person, Mr. P. Saravanamurthy, to the 5-day webinar series on Turning Crisis to Opportunities. I welcome the members of faculty and student participants to today's webinar titled Student to Civil Servant Challenges to Crack IAS Exam. I consider it a privilege to introduce Mr. P. Sarvanamurthy, the resource person for the day. Mr. P. Sarvanamurthy holds a bachelor's degree in engineering, a bachelor's of law, and a master's in history. Sir is a practicing advocate in the Madras High Court with over 5 years of experience in the field. He has qualified the National Eligibility Test in his very first attempt. For over 10 years, he has been teaching history for IAS aspirants at the Shankar IAS Academy, Chennai. He is also holding the record of creating successful All India top score in IAS with history as the optional subject. Today, Sir is with us to illuminate the young minds of Etiraj College for Women through his expertise. Thank you, sir, and over to you.
Thank you, ma'am, and a very good afternoon to all, both the staff of the Ethridge College. First of all, I thank to Ethridge College for providing such an opportunity during this time, COVID-19 time. So first of all, I thank the Ethridge College. Even a couple of months back, I came to college for providing such a same lecture to the history department. Now again, I thank you for providing such opportunity to all such people, because rather than I use the word student, it's better to use the word aspirant and candidate, because the mentality of the student is somewhat different when you become an aspirant or candidate for a competitive exam. That's why I use that word. So, thank you for being here of the aspirant and the future civil servant. So, thank you, Etraj College, for providing such an opportunity, and all the staff, especially Dean and Archana Madam and all other staff. Thank you so much. Uh, Today, the topic is that too during the COVID situation, no doubt at all, it completely crippled the entire world, both economically, socially, and all politically. It completely crippled the world. But at the same time, we should learn a lot of things from such a grim situation. One interesting thing is, though it distance us, but it's the right time to interact with our family members. One thing, at the same time, it's the right time to interact with the books. So the best friend as of now is reading habit, and one step ahead is the studying habit, because reading is somewhat different with the study. Why I use this word is, some people would use to read the newspaper, but some alone would study the newspaper. Especially for the civil service aspirants, definitely they should study the newspaper rather than just reading the newspaper. The people, those who are just sitting in that benches of the tea shops, they would read the newspaper. But as an UPSC aspirant, civil service aspirant, even the competitive exam aspirant should study the newspaper. Studying the newspaper and noting down the important articles and revising it once in a week or once in a fortnight. These are all the method of study that just reading. Yes, this COVID situation, though no doubt at all it crippled the entire world, but it's a great opportunity to study and yourself to enlighten with the books. So in this, uh, how to face civil services exams and what are all the challenges I faced. So it will be better if I experience my own thing. So you just to enter into my shoe, and as if you are civil servant, what are all the mistakes if I committed, you could easily overcome it and you could sign like a civil servant. Before entering into my challenges and what are the basic challenges, if you see the origin of civil service, because many students are simply coming to as an aspirant of civil service without knowing the weightage and significance and what are all else behind it. They are simply coming and simply studying. It's like some other exams, and few people are shining and many couldn't. Even though here many aspirants are there, they might have got very good score in 10th exam, 12th exam, even in graduation also, whether it's BA history or BSc geography or any other graduation, you might have shined out of 100, 80 percentage or 90 percentage. But some students and aspirants couldn't shine in that civil services. If you see their academic career is excellent, no doubt at all. But come to competitive field, they couldn't shine. Why? That's why I particularly wish to take like this topic challenges. What kind of challenges I faced? Openly to say I couldn't clear, but many students, including my wife is also, she's in services, both in she got central services as well as in state services. As of now, she is working in Assistant Commissioner in Commercial Tax Department. So no doubt at all, it's like Shakti or the girls Shakti. No doubt at all, I accept it in my family itself. That is completely proven story. Incident in this, what kind of challenges I faced, right? Before that, if you see the civil services origin, you will get the insight of the significance and the importance of being to become as a civil servant. As of now, we simply call in T20, that is 2020, we are saying it as an IS, IPS, and you could see your nearby people would have become Samana or Samaka would have become IS and IPS officers. Many Indians, even in your street itself, one could see. But if you take the history of civil service 200 years before, 250 years before, during the British Raj, only that civil services were exclusively to Europeans. That's why it's a Europeanization of the Indian civil services. Why? Why no Indians were included is because of it's considered as a topmost post in the bureaucracy. In civil services, it is a topmost post. So what happened is it's even considered, even some would say it's like a elite service. That's why the door not at all open to the Indians. Till 1850s, the doors were not at all, for a century, the doors were not at all open to an Indians. But after that only the doors were gradually opened. Even at the time, the slow rate of succession of the case of Indians. The first Indian to become an ICS officer is Satyendra Nath Tagore, brother of Rabindranath Tagore. After that only, right, the Indian got award and gradually entered into that. One of the youngest civil servants is Subhash Chandra Bose. Later he resigned and entered into the national movement. That's a different story. Why I'm saying this kinds means you should know the weightage and you should know while you are preparing for that what kind of exam you are preparing. Because many things a student didn't know when they were compelled to expel, then only they came to know very late, right, of the weightage of the civil services. The first challenge is what is origin? What kind of service is this? First thing you should know. For that, historical proposition is very important. What kind of post is this? It's like if you are going to any interview, if you are going to any kind of job, you should know the nature of the job, you should know the nature of the work, you should know the nature of compensation in name of salary, and last one, you should know the progress. But many a student, especially in civil service, while entering into UPSC or TNPC or whatever the public services commission in their respective states, they are not at all understanding this weightage. Actually, this is the first challenge you should. For that, what you have to do during this COVID? So, turning this crisis into a golden opportunity. Yes, definitely. It's 100% applicable to the aspirants. So, students to an aspirant, this is the right time. Even we have to thank the government because the 15 days, the lockdown, you can't go outside. The great friend is the books. Study. If you got bored, again study. If you got bored, again study. And even I would say, become addict. Actually, this addict is the positive addict. This addict is the good addict. Once you started to prepare a newspaper, I have been preparing for studying the newspaper for 16 years. When I entered into the civil services field by 2005, initially I felt it's difficult. It's a boring of studying the newspaper. But gradually what happened, either the morning, early morning or late evening, I used to spend at least 2 hours for the newspaper. And at last, what happened is it became addict. Actually, such addict is good. That is a positive addict. This is a right opportunity. You may not go out, right? You can't go for a ride of two-wheeler or four-wheeler. This is the right time. So, turning the crisis period into the golden opportunity. This is the first thing regarding the civil services, the art. Now, I come back. In 1947, after independence, completely what happened is it's an Indianization. All people know, aware of this because you should have known of the ABCD of the civil services exams. It is because of the great effort of Sardar Vallabhai Patel, complete Indianization. And at last, ICS turned into IAS, Indian Police turned into Indian Police Service, and gradually other services were created. As of now, if you see in the next civil services exam, you are competing, you are fighting for nearly 24 exams, 24 exams like the post. The first post is IAS, and the topmost 24th is the Pondicherry Police Service. If it can get so many orders are there, IAS would come, next IFS would come, Indian Foreign Service would come, next Police Service would come, next Indian Audit and Account Service is there, next IRTS is there, Railway Traffic, next IRS, IT, and IRS Customs is there, even Indian Ordnance Factory Service is there. So likewise, the second thing is for what kind of post you are competing. That thing you should know. That 24 posts is there. They are collectively called, the exams is called civil services exam. The first thing, you should know the article. Second thing, you should know for what post you are. For example, even my colleagues are there, what their choice is, if the first choice is IAS, some of the aspirant would put first choice is IPS. Even successful candidates are there because of their dream. For that, you should know all the 24. For example, if some people, maybe from Pondicherry, they would say that, no, sir, even if it is Pondicherry Police Service or Public Service exam is the last one, I want to only compete for the Pondicherry Police Service or Pondicherry Civil Service. You should know in which number does it come. So second thing is challenge to is you are competing, you are writing the exams. If you ask the students in randomly list out all the postmates, even many occasions I ask the students, even in your college also, many mentioned after IAS, the all saying activity. Then they are saying IFS. At in IFS, they are saying that Indian Forest Service. Actually, Indian Forest Service is a separate entity. Preliminary topic alone, post civil service as well as forest services, one and the same pattern. But if you come to mains and interview, both for civil services exam as well as forest service exam, you will have that two different kind of exam, entirely different. Even some of my colleagues are there. Within a month itself, they attended both the Indian Forest Service interview also as well as civil services interview also. So don't confuse with Indian Foreign Service, that is IFS. Another is Indian Forest Service, that should be called as IFOIS. O should be the small O. So IFOIS Forest Services wise, preliminary pattern alone is one and the same for civil services as well as a forest. Mains pattern and interview pattern is entered. Why I am insisting is Indian Forest Service here is, first I said 24 posts of Indian civil, that is a civil services. Another the separate post called Indian Forest Services. Among the 24 plus 1, only 3 posts are the All India services. This is very important. Many even does not know the difference between the IAS and other posts. Among 24 plus 1, only 3 posts are All India services. One is IAS, another is IPS, another is Indian Forest Service. All the remaining services are called central government service. So all India services are different, central government services are different. Why I try to say this, whenever I supposed to interact in the academy, even in Chennai, even I'm handling it in Delhi also, many does not know the difference between the all India services and another thing is central government services. Suppose if you are entering into Indian Revenue Service, whether it is customs or whether it is that income tax, or whether you are entering into IRTS, Indian Railway and Traffic Service, That kind of posts are called central services. It means that you are straight away the central government employee. The recruit is the central government. They are providing the job and they are providing the salary, and at last you are retired as a central government. Then what about the all India services? If you come to all India services, the recruitment alone would be done by the central government, and who is controlling authority you is the respective state. For example, if an IPS officer is there, he is an all India service. It's an all India service post. That officer is an all India servant. He is recruited and managed by the Ministry of Home, but immediately in the hand he is under the control of the state government. That is a much difference between the all India service and the central services. This is the second kind of challenge as a candidate should know. Why we are sharing this information is many a candidates are coming as such to the institutions and as such join, and they are simply saying that for what exam you are preparing. I am preparing for IS exams. What about the order? What about the number of posts? That I don't know. Even some says that my parents insisted, that's why I joined. Okay, let it be good. Even it may be your parents' wish. Even one interesting is there. In 2008, when I was preparing for an interview, ex-chief secretary of Tamil Nadu, one madam, at the time retired, one madam attended it. She's the interview guide to us. When interacting with her, she only mentioned it. She was also the youngest, one of the youngest IAS officer. At the age of 21 or 22 itself, she entered into the service and retired as a chief secretary of Tamil Nadu. I'm saying a decade before, when interacting with one of that aspirant asked the questions. What prompt you to become as an IAS officer? She simply answered, I don't know anything. My father wished I joined. Later, myself learned it. The same question was asked for me in interview also. The madam said the things. Because at 22, the madam attended interview. At the time, one of the interviewer mentioned asked the same question. What prompted you to become as an IAS officer? The madam answered very simple. It's like a very open-hearted answer. My father insisted, I joined. Immediately, the gentleman in the board started to laugh, one or two gentlemen, because of the openness. So let it be. Here, once you joined, you should aware of this. Number of posts, you should aware of the nature of the service. And then only you should come to the preparation mode. If you come to the preparation mode, that civil services exam are of the 3 stages. Actually, it's a 3 stages exam. Definitely, for the candidates are attending here, should definitely, and I presume that you all people knew something about in civil services exams. Rather than using the word UPSC exam or IAS exam, here I use the word civil services exam. Here it consists of 3 tiers. One is civil services preliminary exam, another is civil services mains exam, another is civil services personality test. Keep it in mind, I use the word personality test. I never use the word interview. Why it's a personality test? Why it's not interview? I come back. Right, a little later, we will discuss about this. So here, third challenge is, in preliminary, what kind of challenge? Mains, what kind of challenge? In interview, what kind of challenge you have to face? I will share simultaneously the other candidate, my colleagues, some are successful, some are didn't like me, right? What kind of things, right? Negative things we did it, it's a right time to share with you people. Yes, because you should get the knowledge of that somewhat unsuccessful, right? Though we are shining in some other field, so we are also once upon a time the aspirants. Because of small things, you may lose very big. This is the one great thing. Even 3 months already has been gone. By this time, you should have studied some of the great books. Otherwise, academic book. And one challenge many candidates are not at all aware is They are not at all studying of the academic. Actually, the best thing, especially the art subjects, Ethiraj and other colleges, art and science colleges, first a candidate as well as a student should thoroughly study the academics. There is no compromise on this. If you are a successful in academic, whoever you are, you could easily be shined if you just to follow some of the mentor and instructor, and if you know the basics of civil services. Yes. Here, it consists of the three-tier system. What kind of challenges in prelims, mains, and the personality tests? Right. If you come to the preliminary, when I was the student, the pattern was different, entirely different. When I was the student, morning 10 to 12, general studies paper would be there. Next afternoon, 2 to 4. 2 to 4, there's a paper called optional subject. As of now, if you preparing for the civil services exam, morning general studies, there's no change at all. But afternoon, instead of the optional subjects, you have to choose during the preliminary stage itself. As of now, it's replaced with the CSAT. Yes. So what challenges I faced and what are the challenges as of now you may face in course of time? Yes. In the case of general studies for preliminary, you have to study vast, but at the same time, not that much of it. Some shallow knowledge is enough, exclusively for preliminary exam. I'm not only discussing mains, exclusively for preliminary exams, you should study vast knowledge about history, about polity, about geography, about science and tech, yes, about environmental. You should know of the vast knowledge, but what is enough. You don't need to do a PhD in that level. Even you don't need to do master degree in that level of the preliminary exam. Yes, generalization. Because these kinds of posts, you should know something in everything. It's like a jack of all fruits, but master of none. That is highly applicable to the civil service aspirants. In preliminary, what I did it, we studied more weightage to. I took history international because I like. How do you know of a subject is liked by you or not? Without knowingly, yourself would discuss a lot about it. This is very important. It would not come overnight, but you would discuss that subject. Otherwise, you would read the subject again and again without knowingly. With knowingly is different. Without knowingly itself, it would come. Such a subject is the very best. Since as of now preliminary state there is no optional, I'll come and discuss how you have to choose an optional in mains, not in the preliminary. Right? So what we did in 2007, 8, 9, 10, what we did is more weightage on optional subject. Since I took history optional, almost major thing is covered in the GS. I felt I sailed quite easily through in the preliminary exam. I never felt anything in the case of preliminary exam because my optional subject is history, so it's very easy. That too in the preliminary exam, you have to study something in everything. For example, in geography, if current incident something happened in Antarctica, some of the countries vessel went and they hoisted their flag. Which country went and hoisted their flag? Even not in Antarctica, even to the moon or in the Mars, some of the country would have hoisted. Even now itself, the colonization in moon, colonization in Mars started. Like colonization coming of European after 1000 year, 2000 year, coming of people from Earth to Mars. If Mars is occupied by some other people, some other alien species are there in the Mars, they would say that like coming of European, right? How British colonized it. Likewise, their civil services, if they kept in Mars, they would keep it and they would say that when Apollo series came, then Mangalyaan came. What happened is this is the Indian area, this is an American area, this is a Russian area, right? So likewise, here, since my subject optional is history, I felt somewhat easy in the case of preliminary. And preliminary, as you know, aware of this, it's a pure objective. Question will be given, 4 choices would be given. You have to just choose the right choice. So you no need to remember, you no need to reproduce it. That's a major difference between preliminary and mains. So you no need to remember, you no need to reproduce. You have to read the newspaper, and from your mind you have to get it among the 4 what is the best choice. Even all the 4 choices seems to be best good, but what is the best choice you have to choose it. This is what preliminary when I was writing. But as of now, preliminary is quite easy. If you study wholeheartedly for 6 months or 7 months, you could easily clear the preliminary exam because they removed the optional. 2011, 9 onwards, they introduced the CSAT. At least CSAT earlier had the weightage. CSAT score was also included, but after some protest by the civil service aspirants, especially from the science background aspirants, because there is that debate is there. More engineering students, because of CSAT, they are easily getting into the service. They are easily sailing through the preliminary exam. So what happened is, after some protest by the students, both in Delhi as well as Chennai, everywhere across the country, they diluted what they did. CSAT is exclusive for the qualification paper. As of now, CSAT, if you got 33% out of 200, if you get 70 marks or 78 marks, that's enough. CSAT score will not be included for counting in the preliminary. So CSAT, if you know the basic of quantitative, non-verbal, you could easily sail through in the CSAT. Even for engineering students or art student, it doesn't matter. Even if you say, no sir, I definitely could not come, you could easily sail through. So you will not find much difficulties in the case of CSAT. Right? Anyhow, you should be prepared. Even I have seen that some of the candidates, they got good score in GS, but because of the fail in the CSAT, even they failed to qualify in the CSAT itself, the 1 year is wasted, they couldn't go for the mains. Had they returned the mains, they would have gone to the service. So what I'm saying is CSAT is just for the qualification purpose, but don't take it as light. Now come to the GS, 5 or 4 months study is more than enough. If you go through the GS, what kind of challenges you would face is more weightage on current affairs. Actually, what is current affairs is study of everything: history, geography, polity, sports, environment, economy. Everything is there in the newspaper. That's why more number of questions seems to come from the newspaper. Why? All the subjects are there in the newspaper itself. What kind of challenge? You might have studied history up to 10th, geography, in the name of social science, civics, in the name of civics, polity, you should have studied. But some candidates alone, students alone would have touched that newspaper frequently. So one biggest challenge of the preliminary is newspaper study. This COVID situation, you consider this. Even I have not touched the newspaper till the date. No need to bother about it. You just take, today is the right time. Yes, whatever the auspicious things you are doing, that time is the auspicious time. Today itself, you start with the newspaper. If the hard copy is not coming, soft copies are there in all that, whether it's a Hindu, a Deccan Chronicle, a Times of India. Take one newspaper. I studied, I'm studying the Hindu. Once you start to prepare with the one newspaper, till the end, you just confine to a newspaper. Even some student I come across, what manner is, they would study Hindu, then they would study the Times of India, then they would study Deccan Chronicle. No. One newspaper, you stick on to one newspaper till you enter into the service, that's enough. No doubt, some of the news would be missed out. You could easily supplement through some of the magazine or some of the websites available there. As of now, almost all are putting the videos and the sessions are there. Through that, you could easily supplement the some other information. But 80% of information you will get it from even the primary newspaper itself. The first challenge in preliminary newspaper studies, it is the right time never waste or never postpone in the study of newspaper. That addiction is good. First a month it seems to be, first a week or a month it seems to be difficult. Definitely. Even today, India-China standoff is going on. If you just take, you don't know what's going on. Because that activities, that news is started a week or 15 days before itself. At that time, it has been already started. As of now, if you take India-China standoff in the Ladakh region and the Galwan Valley and Galwan River, if you say, where is Galwan Valley, where is Galwan River, definitely you would not know. No problem at all. If you start to study from today, next week, again and again, if you go through Ladakh, where is Ladakh, what is the area of dispute, you will be familiar. So in preliminary, the foremost challenge a candidate is facing. Through my experience, I'm saying that, sharing this already, what kind of challenges, especially this June, July, what many new students to come for that academy institutions. In that, what's the biggest challenge they're facing is newspaper. So kindly start newspaper, not reading, newspaper study. Today itself, if you are already prepared, well and good, you take it whether you are taking notes or not. This is one of the big. Second challenge in preliminary is studying of the core subject. Some students may have, they would not like some subject. If the subject is coming under core subject, that's all. You forced to study actually. Especially history, there's no other go without history. Both in prelims as well as mains, even in interview. Because history is everything. Geography, you can't. No, sir, I don't like geography. There's no other go. You should study. Change your mind. History, geography, economy, polity wise, there's no compromise of this. If you consider, right, I hate these kinds of subject, mean try to convert hate into love. This is a second challenge. If you have not compromised these two things and overcome these two challenges, the first stage is quite okay. You can easily sail through it. Every time I would clear prelims and mains because newspaper wise, daily I would study 3 hours or 2 hours daily I would study. History wise, my at the time two optional subject, history, another optional subject. My subject is geography. So going through the preliminary, I never felt hard. Even I also coming under the general category also. Even in that itself, you could easily clear of this. So these two things today a student will face it. Next you come to mains. I would say main exam main. Otherwise shortly mains is the main. Because it is the door to interview. Even one step and if you entered into the IAS, do well. No. Best thing you have to do it in main stage. Because personality test, as by my experience, I am saying it, it is out of our hand. Why it's out of our hand? It's somewhat unpredictable. I am saying it, right? Why? I'll come to the last stage. If you see the main is the main. Why? Is preliminary wise, GS mark is included just for entering into mains. So preliminary mark in GS would not be added into your overall score, but main score would be added. If you say that 1,750 marks altogether, main score, total score is 1,750. Out of the 1,750, it is good to score above. You just keep it in mind. It's very interesting. It's not interesting. Sometimes it may be surprise also. Out of 1,750, at one time, 2014, what is that mains clearing score? The student enter into interviews 500. Just imagine. Out of 1,750, if you want to clear the mains, 550 or 500 is enough. It means that 1/3, even less than 1/3. So out of 750, sometimes 500, 550. Sometimes it will go up to 800 or 850. 2019 or 18, out of 1750, if you want to attend personality test, you should get the score around 800. Then only you could. Here, there is no fixed score. This is where competitive exam and common exam differs. What is the common exams means? If lakhs of students, 10,000 students are attending in common exam, all the students can pass. All pass, simply to say. Is it possible in competitive exam? No. In competitive exam, how many people candidate would be a successful list? It is based on number of posts. If 10,000 members candidates are attending means, if number of posts is 500, only such a 500 alone be the successful. This is the much difference between the competitive exam and the common exam. So keep it in mind. In common exam, all can pass, but in competitive exam, number of posts is important. You have to check it whether you are within the 500 or outside 500. Within 500, you are passed. Outside 500, even if you got 100 out of 90 out of 100, sometimes you get fail. You get fail. That's what many candidates normal question in the mains is, what is the minimum mark in mains? There is no minimum marks. Only fixed is the maximum mark, 1750. What I suggest, I would say is, you study thoroughly and you try to get the maximum mark. 1750, 1000, super, 1500, excellent. Even like a 10th and 12th exam, 1700 out of 1700, super. Then you will be the number one because no one gets such a score. In the entire civil service history, you will create history. So there is no minimum score. Maximum score is 1750. Right? So that is vary every year actually. Okay. Now, in the case of mains, 4 GS paper. When I was the student, 2 GS paper, 2 optional subject. Each optional subject itself consists of 2 papers. So optional subject 4 paper you have to write it. GS wise 2 altogether for GS and optional itself we have to write it for 6 paper. And one is the English essay. Right, altogether 7 papers. First I will discuss what I faced is 2 GS, 2 optional paper, each subject has 2 paper. So 2 plus 4, 4 is optional. Next one is that English, essay, altogether 7. Altogether 7 paper you have to get it. Among that only whether you are qualified for interview or not. When I was writing. But 2014, the chapters and the UPSC thoroughly changed it, revised it. Accordingly, 4 GS paper. 4 GS paper. Instead of 2 optional, only 1 optional. So 4 plus 2, 6. And essay is the same thing. English essay. When I was writing is only 1 English essay out of 250 marks. But as of now, what happened is the 250 they split into 2 essays, 125 marks each, altogether 250 marks. So 4 GS paper, 1 optional that consists of 2 papers, 4 plus 2, 6, 1 English essay, 7. If you count all the 7, each paper carry the score of 250, all to the 1750. So 7 paper are for score. And the last 2 is there, that is one compulsory English. It's like a 10th standard, grammar, precise writing, essay writing, synonymous, even gerund is also asked. One of the once 8 or 2009, I attended gerund. It seems to be 6th standard English exam. Compulsory English, another is compulsory regional newspaper. If you are from Tamil Nadu, Tamil. Bengali, Bengal, then Bengali. Maharashtra region, the Marathi. So mother tongue, you have to choose it. One is compulsory English, another is the compulsory regional language. These 2 are just for qualifying. So out of 9, 2 is qualifying, 7 is for scoring. Draws 250, 1750. Out of 1,750, how much you are scoring? Maximum scoring is the matter. If you score to good, no need to bother about interview. You have to go to Delhi, you have to go to the Jodhpur house where the UPSC Bhavan is located, and you could easily have that session very politely and you will get very good score. Provided if you got very good score in mains, because 1,750 is very, very crucial. Yes, this is that scheme of exams. In that scheme of exams, what kind of challenges I faced? First, I will tell what kind of challenges. Then, what kind of challenges you, as of now, a candidate, UPSC aspirant facing. What kind of challenges I faced? Mains is the worst. First of all, you have to ask. Mains is the worst, and it's more or like whether it's a geography or sociology or history, whatever the subject, you have to study above bachelor level. Keep it in mind. It's mentioning UPSC syllabus itself. You have to be study above bachelor level. It means that up to master level you have to study. But minimum requirement is above bachelor level, they mentioned. If you study BA history or geography, you have to study one step ahead. They never say you have to study PhD level. They never mentioned it. So mains is somewhat above master, bachelor level, especially in the case of optional subject. So you have to study. For example, 3 years you are studying for BA, BCom, economy, but you have to finish everything within 6 months. Between preliminary and mains, maximum 6 months when I was writing, now it's reduced to 4 months. How is it possible? Within the 4 months you have to study new subject. You should have already studied. Within the 4 months you have to revise it. So this is the biggest challenge of the mains is choosing the right option. GS wise, no other go. Compulsorily you should study. There is no other go regarding GS. But regarding the optional, you should be that very careful. Choosing the wrong optional, entering into the wrong set. Because out of 1,750, optional alone would come for 500 marks. I said an optional subject consists of 2 papers. Each paper has the score of 250, 250 to 500. So 1/3 is the optional. If you did very well in the optional, many students who entered into the good service because of optional. GS wise, more or less all would answer because there's a compulsory. Even if we hate, you must study. But optional is your choice. Again, if you come to optional, whether one optional is there, no. It starts with animal husbandry. You can take animal husbandry as an optional. Veterinary science is there because A to B, animal husbandry to veterinary science. Up to that you could take. Nearly 20 plus optional subject. Mathematics is there. Public administration is there. Sociology is there. Anthropology is there. Botany is there. Geography is there. Commerce is there. Management is there. Medical science is there. MBBS. Right, psychology. I could list out various things. So please kindly go through the optional. And if you are the core subject in Ethiraj College, many students are studying in their respective core area. Better to adhere with the your graduation. Right? If you want to shift your the graduation to the other optional subject, you should be very careful. You should have strong and valid reason for changing such an option. Otherwise, whatever you have studied in academic, better to confine. Only thing is in competitive exam, you need little bit change of writing. When you enter into that, yourself would aware of this, that no need to bother about as of now. So, in mains, the first challenge is choosing an option. Right optional, right service. Better service, not just lower service. Definitely you will land at IS, IPS. It's the first. Second challenge is writing practice. Actually, this is the biggest challenge. Here I committed. I couldn't improve this writing practice. That after coming out of this field, I realized it. That's why we always insist our candidates that always should have the better writing. Here it is not necessarily that you should have the good handwriting. Better writing, some fast writing is enough. Not necessarily to be the very good handwriting. So writing practice is very important. Choosing optional. Second is writing practice. Very important. Today itself you can take. If you are very good writer, not at all a matter. You go on continue of study. No, I am a slow writer in the case of me. Otherwise, my writing is not that much visible. You have to improve it. It is the right time to change it. So this crisis period, use these things. What kind of challenges I will face? What kind of negatives I have it? Try to change it. Positive is when COVID is over, when normal situation, you come out like a flying colors and interact with that, write the exams and shine like anything. Stars. It's a second. And the third thing is vast study. Study wise, you have already studied because 21 years, 22 years, you have there. In the mains, whatever you studied in LKG, UKG would come out. When you are sitting in mains exam, they will ask questions like this. If you study genuinely in the 10th standard or 5th standard, some other important topic, such a topic would come to an mind inside the exam. That too afternoon 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, just imagine. I realized it because they will get all such information from you, whatever you study from the day one of your education. So vast study. That's a third. But most is choosing the right option. Second thing is writing practice. And the fourth challenge is choosing a language. Normally English. No doubt at all. Yes, all will come regarding English. But some candidate wanted to take the mother tongue. In this case, better thing is unless until if you study in the mother tongue, let it be Tamil or Telugu or Bengali or Marathi or Kashmiri or Kongani, whatever it is, unless otherwise, if you study your mother tongue in the school days, sometimes you can't do it in college days, school days. For example, in Tamil Nadu, we used to call Tamil medium. If you study in Tamil medium, then it is better to write exams in Tamil. Otherwise, no need to avoid. Little bit you avoid of taking the regional languages or mother tongue. Better to take English. You may have interest towards Tamil or your mother tongue. Right? You can do it outside, but you should not mingle with your profession because it's a life decision making. So fourth thing is language. Language wise, 80% of the candidates are quite clear of this. Only 20% for them. This is the fourth challenge. Yes. So first two challenges are very important. The second of writing practice, you will feel it inside. Why I am saying repeatedly, I am saying writing practice means one thing we insist all the candidates, those who are going for the mains exam is complete the answer. Never leave any answer. Never leave any blank space. Because in mains exam, question come answer booklet would be given. No questions, nothing. Question come answer. UPSC would give 35 to 40 page such a question come answer booklet form. In that question would be given 2 pages would be left. That's all. Within the 2 page you have to write it. Third page next question would start it. Within that itself, irrespective of your font size or gap between the 2 lines, gap between the 2 statements, you have to manage it. If you are able to complete with minimum information or necessary information, you can be a very successful. Definitely, your deck is clear. You can enter into personality test. That's why we always insist on the writing practice that can be done only by you people. We can teach you, but we can't write on behalf of you. And the last is the personality test. Actually, personality test, many candidates are interested toward personality test. But personality test, one thing is from Chennai or from Bangalore or from Trivandrum, right, you have to go to the Delhi and you have to be there and you have to go to UPSC Bhavan, that is a Dholpur house. and some 5 to 6 people are waiting for you. Okay, you are the fellow who defeated nearly 3 lakh people or 4 lakh people. Okay, welcome. We want to see your face. This is a personality test. What is the weightage of the personality test? When I was the student candidate, 300 marks, but as of now, they reduced 25 marks. That led to the 275 marks. Here, keep it in mind, personality test just 275. But if you see the mains were 1750, then where you have to give more weightage is the mains exam. Why I'm saying this? Suppose you consider after 275, right? You are going to interview. Sometimes your health condition seems to not good. Otherwise, weather condition of Delhi is not good. Okay, otherwise some accidental something you because why I'm saying is mains exam same day, GS paper same time, 3 hours should be given. So level playing field is mentioned in mains except optional. Optional alone different kind of questions. Right? If some natural calamities in Tamil Nadu, Andhra, all the students should be affected. But if you go to personality test, day is different. Time slot is different. Questions is different. No single question to all the 2,500 students in the case of personality test. Rather than 2,500 students, 2,500 cross 7, just imagine nearly 13,000 students questions are there. From that only randomly questions will be asked. So if you are entering into that, if you are going to Delhi, your health condition, then Delhi's health condition, second thing, and the next thing is your journey. Otherwise, it means you could easily write it in Chennai itself. Adaptability in Delhi, because we faced it. That's why what we used to do is, if the interview is next Friday, just I'm saying hypothesis, if interview is next Friday means we would not go on the next Thursday. We would go to Delhi 10 days before itself. By the time we would have it in Delhi. What is the reason means 2 to 3 days we have to accommodate with respect to that Delhi's, because we are from far south. You have to accommodate. If you are in the Delhi, it is not at all a matter. You have to accommodate. Then food. You have to check your own body. And you should know the language also. Understood? So health condition and weather condition. And the next thing is, if you are entering into that, right, on the day, morning slot is there, afternoon slot is there. Right, the questions, even the board also, not a single board, nearly 8 boards are there. Right, 7 to 8 boards. Right, which board you would go there? So number of questions are different. Day of interview, personality test is different. Timing, you can't choose it. Next thing, which board? At the last moment only, actually, you should know of which board. It's like a curious case of Benjamin. Likewise, here, the full of curious. And what kind of questions? Based on your answer, the questions go on. So 275 marks, according to me, I would consider this just it's not in my hand. I can't easily predict it. I can't score it. And another thing in the 275 is your personality would be tested. Your knowledge would not be tested. Because already you are cleared. You are cleared in preliminary and mains, and you are a most successful candidate because you have thrown away nearly 4 lakh, 5 lakh candidates, and you are here. Very good. Again, we don't want to test your knowledge. We want to test your personality. Why I use the word personality is no one can develop personality overnight. Personality cannot be grown up mechanically. It should come organically, actually. Leaps and bounds, how your activities, how your knowledge, how you are thinking, how you are brought up, that alone would come out in the name of personality. Knowledge-wise, if I today gives the textbook of Napoleon Bonaparte, within a 1 month, definitely you will know everything about Napoleon Bonaparte. Knowledge you can, but personality is difficult. So they would test your personality. Whether this fellow's metal means the mind, is solid, rock solid. Even what I realized is they wanted both knowledgeable person as well as they want Mr. Cool or Miss Cool. How to handle a situation, that is important for a civil servant. For example, if you are a collector of a district, some untoward incident happened in your district. Media would come, immediately would come, sir, what is happening in this? If they are asking, you should not be disturbed. You should not get tension. You have to answer. Politely, you have to answer. This is what they are testing. In this occasion, they don't want. So some accident happened, how the accident happened, what is the technicalities, that is not at all a duty of the civil servant. But how you are facing, how you are managing. If a poor people are approaching you with a petition, how you are handling, emotional intelligence. Here they not only wanted the intelligent people, they want emotional intelligent people. How you are approaching. Just you are treating them mechanically or you understood them because you are 30 plus years, they are 80 plus years. You may be knowledgeable people, but they are experienced people. Right? At that, as a collector, you should know the experience of such a 80 plus people here. Experience. So this will be tested in the personality. Understood? Personality wise, I never felt. My biggest thing is in completion of question. This is what I faced as a challenge. Personality wise, decent score, I always got it. But minimum requirement only, I got it in the case of males. That is considered my challenge, what I tasted, that you should not do it again. So, mains is the mains. Again and again, try to improve your writing practice. That seems to be good. Right, completion of the answer. Personality wise, there is personality test wise you are. For example, one of my friend, he also went to interview. What he did it, nearly 4 to 5 initial question has been asked. He simply said, I didn't know. He simply said, they accepted actually. Because you don't know, you don't need to know everything actually. Right? They would never. If you don't know, sir, no sir, I will not come across it. Right? I couldn't recollect it. Openly they accepted. Even he accepted. They also readily accepted and move on to next question. And in that he got very decent, very good score actually. But some people are there, always try to answer. If the question is asked, they are considering this like a bombarding the question. And we have to return it. We have to retaliate it. Even some candidates are there. Even the questions are yet to complete, they start to answer. Immediately they will judge it. Understood? So these kinds of challenges in each stage. So for what exams you are preparing, what kind of knowledge you want it, what kind of the post is this, what is the nature of the post is this. Understood? So if you know these things, then only you have to study. Studying wise, book wise and otherwise, that's the last moment. Definitely you will get a better idea. If you want to study books, as of now, without joining any institutions or coaching means, best thing, 11th, 12th books you study. Otherwise, if you are in the course subject, your academy study is coming in that UPSC syllabus also. For example, history, geography, sociology, your academic books are more than enough. Again, you revise it. It will be helpful not only to get good score in the academic, at the same time you could shine it. Even the many candidates take that one subject, academic subject, some few candidates alone are cross. These kinds of challenges are there in this COVID. you do one thing, list out your challenges, academic challenges, as well as the competitive exam challenges. Try to overcome both academic challenges, list it out. Then the competitive exam challenges also, you list it out. Definitely, you are not like a student. You can definitely become students who are civil servants. It is the right time to start it. Yes. So this is what, if my case of the challenges is preliminary wise not at all, mains wise nearly 300 marks or out of 250 marks. In each paper, I used to miss, I couldn't write 20 plus or 30 plus marks. I used to leave it. That's the biggest challenge I faced to try to overcome. Personality wise, if you just have day-to-day activities is very well, it will be reflected in very good way in interview. You will never face any difficulties in the case of personality wise. And another thing is, it's not in our hand. If you did it in mains very well, definitely you will get very good score automatically in personality. That itself is a push factor to get into the good service. Even with this, after becoming the civil servants, everything is not over. Then you have to undergo training. Vigorous training session is there. If you become an IAS officer, you have to go to the Labasna, Laguru Sastri Academy is there in Masuri. And if you are an IPS officer, you have to come down to National Police Academy in Hyderabad. IFS officer in Delhi. Foreign studies institutions are there. IRTS officer that you have to go to Gujarat region for training. Various trainings are there. Nearly 1.5 to 2 years you will be under probation. After the completion, in that also exams are there. Once UPSC declared you are a successful, after that your probation start and you have to wait it for 2 years to get the probation. That is also the next challenge. Then you will be the full-fledged officer to serve it. Then you will face that real challenge actually. Here is that academic and writing and within you. Once you enter into that, you will face the real challenge daily. You will get so many challenging things because you would work across various fields. No other examination in India would provide such an opportunity to work with a different kind of people. And you will get a very good best of satisfaction if you're successful, if you love it, if you entered into this. You could come across, you might have come across, I don't need to explain about this. So these are all the various challenges are there you have to. In this situation, because once routine life comes back, you have to run behind the routine life. It is the right time, it's a full stop. What kind of challenges, what kind of negatives of me, list it out and convert the minus into positive. Definitely minus into positive. Your vehicle would straight move and you will be the successful candidate. Yes. So with this, I end my lecturing. If any doubt, please you may ask. Any questions, please?
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your expertise in the field. It was indeed very enriching and very useful, especially for ambitious students to utilize their time wisely during this lockdown period. Sir, I think you've covered most of the portions, but still there are a few questions which I would like to raise on behalf of the students now. The first one is from Ms. Sri Lakshmi Nambiar. Preparing for civil service is like an ocean for a new aspirant. I feel blue that where I should start and how to continue my journey. How should I manage such a vast syllabus, sir?
Yes. So it's a first and fundamental doubts. It's not just that student alone. It's a common doubt would arise. Where you have to start? That's why first said in the initial of the class, start with newspaper. Because newspaper would provide and it's an open source. If you again go back to the academy like one, you may feel little bit. So first thing, start with newspaper. because variety of newspapers should be there. Where you have to start? In the ocean, first is very important. For example, in ocean, it should like this. But we have to enter into the voyage of the very lane. Then only you could the destination. Any undestination voyage is useless. The first is newspaper. Second is basic NCERT materials. That's why it's earlier itself. Again, I come back in this 11th and 12th, whether it be the history, geography, or polity, basic materials are there. Better to confine with the NCERT. It's simple. Third thing is, so this is order. Third thing is, you now itself try to choose your optional subject because it's a very important. You take a week, you take 10 days or 15 days, even at most you take a month. Thoroughly go through it, right? Right, and confine to an optional subject. Once you have chosen an optional subject, what kind of subject textbook you have to go through it, search it in the so many things are there, right? Even in our institute website itself, it's mentioned about it. You just to go through it. So there process for your optional subject, you do it. And last thing is that you start the preparation. So before doing this, what don't ever touch enter into the preparation. This is what normally a student. Many are thinking that UPSC is like civil service preparation like a ocean. No, I disagree with it. I also consider that what you have to do seems to be the ocean. If you do like this, you will feel it. You are passaging in a narrow sea. It's like a strait. It's not the ocean.
Thank you, sir. The next question is also from Sri Lakshmi Nambiar. Does age of the aspirant affect his or her selection chances?
Definitely not. Definitely not. This is one of the superstitious belief. Many candidates are thinking of this. Right? Age does not matter because they don't know. They don't know who are you. They would know only at the interview stage. In preliminary, only your number. In mains, only your handwriting. In interview also, they don't know who are you, right? So definitely they don't know. Then definitely the age does not matter. Even one good inspiration story here I would like to share. One of Anna is there. One thing, he belonged to the reserved category. He entered into the civil service field by 23 itself. For reserved category, you could write up to 37. Earlier 35, now it is increased. You can write it up to 37. SC, ST people. 2 to 3 attempts that Anna gave it, but he was failed. He went back. He did agriculture and returned back 32, 33, and last attempt 35. He entered into IS. Now he is working in Uttarakhand. So age does not matter. In no way would affect it. Even one candidate is there. She is a mother of 2. Yes, and simultaneously she was working in lower cadre of that civil service. Group 2 or Group C she was working. Even at the age of 31, she entered along with us. Now she is an IPS officer. So age would never affect it. Only thing your knowledge, only thing your personality. So no need to bother about it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. The next question is from Miss Y. Gayatri. How many months will it take to prepare properly for UPSC?
Normally, whoever you are, whether from IIM, whether you are from IIT, whether you are from elementary school, whether you are from municipal school, whether you are from the high school, whoever you are, you prepare for 1.5 year. Examination pattern alone for 1.5 year. Because nature of the exam is like this. Preliminary would be started on June. This year alone postponed because of the COVID. Normally, mains exam October, November. Interview preparation, interview March and April. Result would come at May. So examination alone, you have to wait it for 1 year. Since preliminary exams are for the June month, you consider this June month mean you should have started your preparation. Better is 1 year before. For example, June 30, 2020, this year preliminary examination. Better to start a year before. At least 8 months before is good, before your preliminary exam. So here for examination pattern, 1 year. Before that, and 8 to 9 months. So 1 year, 8 to 10 months is essential for all the candidates.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Ranjini Shekharana.
Yes.
This is also a repeated question from many of our participants. Can someone of a bourgeois background puncture the entrance exams without the assistance of a hoarded coaching center?
Madam, please come again.
Yeah. Can someone of a bourgeois background puncture the entrance exams without the assistance of any coaching centers?
Yes, that's definitely possible. Because what UPSC motivated as of now is they try to check whether you are shaped. Otherwise, you are not shaped by institutions. That's also. Always keep in mind, UPSC wanted to touch cutting across from top to bottom of the strata of the society. They want to take it. Only thing they would prefer is whether the candidate has the knowledge or not. That's all. If you're able to get the knowledge at any kind of way, if you get it means no coaching institution, you yourself could study. Even openly to say, coaching institutions would not spoon feed you. We would guide you, that's all. In the case coaching institutions, we are doing it. Apart from that, you alone should study it. So UPSC always would take it in mind of both those who went to the institution, those who are studying it. Only they check of the knowledge. So if you're able to get the knowledge things, no need of such institution. Your own preparation is more than enough. But before that, you do these kinds of work. Then you start preparation. This will be easy, right? You can enter into the service.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Ms. Ankita Vyas. Sir, could you suggest a set of subjects best suited for an economics graduate while attempting the civil services exam?
Okay. First, I said if you are an economic graduate, BA economic, better to stick with economic. It's a very good optional subject also. It's a very good thing. Many cleared it. BA, MA economy, and they took economy as an optional subject and they cleared it. Better to stick with economy. If it's not there, right, you come to the common subjects. What kind of the common subject? Because economic students sometimes would compete with the commerce, but I'm not advising it to take the commerce as an optional student, optional subject, because already you have to compete with the commerce. Rather than if you does not like economy, you just go through what kind of generalist subject. Public administration sometimes you like, sociology you may sometimes like, sometimes you like history. So if you are the art graduate but you don't like your art graduation, try to take similar art subject. Better not to enter into the science for such economic student. The same is applicable to the commerce students also. That is very, it may come as an allied subject for you. Choose 3 to 4. Among that, cordon to 2, last choose one. Other than, if you don't like your own graduation. This is the decision.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Ms. Kirti Sendil. Due to the current pandemic situation, it is not a
No, physical copy is not coming. Clock morning 4 o'clock itself you can. Instead of subscribing it, you can go for the soft copy. It's a one thing. So if you are saying that Hindu physical wise they are stopping, yes, no doubt at all. They are providing it, but for our purpose we are stopping of receiving the hard copy. But soft copies are available. It's a much interest. You can note it. If you have some pad and other thing writing tool, you could get it and you can store it. One, not only Hindu art. Second thing is, since you mentioned about some channels and others, so many open channels are there. So many channels are there. Even Shankarayas Academy itself, daily if you go to the YouTube channel, we are providing the daily newspaper of 2 to 3 daily 2 hours. We are discussing of this. A separate set of team is there. And if you go to some other academies in the Delhi also, in their YouTube channel also, they are providing it. For that, you have so many resources are there in the YouTube channel itself. You can type it, and what YouTube channel you like it, sit on to that YouTube channel. But better to study one newspaper daily online till you get the hard copy. Supplement is this one of the news channel of daily current affairs analysis. That is my opinion.
Thank you, sir. The next question is also from Kirti Sendil. Sir, could you guide us how to select the proper optional subject?
Yes. This is very important. Why I'm saying is, since you people are the BA or BSc or BCom, best thing, try to stick your academic bachelor degree as such in the optional first. For that, you have to go through the syllabus. For example, BA Economic, previously one girl, what I talk about it. Just to go through the BA Economy, you just to go through the syllabus. Okay, syllabus is favorable to whatever I study in academy is good. Second, what effort you have to do it, go through the last 10 years UPSC BA Economy optional question paper, paper 1 and paper 2. Whether you could understand or not. Out of that question, if you understood the 5 questions, well and good. Out of 5 questions, you try to answer it. Whether I answer it in a proper way or not. This is in the case of BA History. Likewise, you do it, what kind of optional subject you like it. So, out of 20 plus optional, you would not go through all the 20 plus. Definitely, you would have come across 3 to 4. Among the 3 to 4, what I have to choose it? First, to go through all the 3 or 4 optional subject syllabus. In that, you would like one, cordon off to the one. Then you go to the last 10 years question paper. Whether you understood, whether at least the names and the question you could understand or not, then try to note it down. If you're able to answer, your answer coming, then automatically you should consider that is the best optional, right optional for you people. And one wrong thing is students are doing of choosing the optional is one wrong thing. This is absolutely wrong. 2019, because of one optional, All India topper would come. What student would do it blindly, they start to take the topper option. This is absolutely wrong. Because that optional is good for them. That optional is not good for you. You have to choose it. Because of that candidate or topper took that optional, I am also going to take. Wrong. Then what you would do? 2019, one optional subject, sign topper. 2020, another optional subject, topper. Then what you would do? You would change the optional in 2021? No, that is a wrong choice. Second wrong many students are doing is they are simply going through the syllabus. They are thinking that syllabus is very less, easy optional. Syllabus is very huge. They are considering it's a tough optional. Absolutely not. All the optionals has its own plus as well as its own minus. Even I would say, if your syllabus is very vast, you say that no hidden topic. If the syllabus is very small, it has so many hidden topics, you should be very careful. This is the method before choosing the right optional, but you get instruction, but taking optional is always it's come from your heart. No external force. Get instruction from it. Choice is yours.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Ms. Shivangi Mandal. There are many video lectures available on YouTube. How do you think an aspirant should skim through these videos, sir?
I don't know what kind of videos, because as earlier said, newspaper video is also available. Another thing is motivation video is also there. Another thing is successors videos are also there. What kind of video you try to say, I don't consider, but from your way of questioning, I conclude that the motivators video as well as the successors video. So you go through the motivators and successor, but don't blindly follow their views. Again and again, if you see most successful candidate, no doubt at all, he would share his view. But as I said a couple of minutes before, the decision should be yours. Since the successful motivator or successful clear students mention, you don't follow or make anything. For example, top rank leader would say some kind of suggestion. 100 successful candidate, ranked student would say some kind of. If you go through the 10 to 15 such a video, 10 to 15 type of way they would. You just listen what kind of only one strategy is suitable for you. You follow that strategy alone. No need to follow. All would take their own. But you only knew what kind of strategy works for you. You work all along that. For that, you could see such a motivation. I think from your questions, because the question is open-ended, from your question, I infer that's why my answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. The next question is from Ms. Donia. What are the books one should initially read for history as the optional subject?
Yes, this is not only for this aspirant, for all those who wish to take history. Right. In the case of history, I am saying, history as an optional, since I have been taking for a decade in the case of history. First thing is 3 NCERT book, 11th and 12th. So 11th Ancient India, 11th Medieval India, and 12th Modern India by Bipan Chandra. Bipan Chandra is a very standard textbook. You could study to any extent. So 11th Ancient, R.S. Sharma, a great historian. Another medieval 11th, a great historian, Satish Chandra. Another is well-known, renowned historian, 12th standard, Bipan Chandra. The 3 books, definitely you should keep it. There's no compromise on this. Apart from that, if you come out, some standard private textbooks are there. One is for ancient India, Upinder Singh is there. It's a superb book for studying ancient. If you study Upinder Singh, definitely even you could do for a PhD also. It's an excellent book. Who is Upinder Singh is the respected professor of Delhi University, DU college, one of the Stevens College professor, and none other than daughter of erstwhile Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Manmohan Singh daughter, Upinder Singh, Dr. Upinder Singh. Superb book in the case of ancient. Medieval wise, J.L. Mehta is there. You buy J.L. Mehta medieval. Modern India wise, Bipan Chandra. Bipan Chandra book is evergreen book. And world history wise, there is a foreign author book. Asaf, it is a standard textbook. Is there? Norman Low is there. So 3 NCERT standard textbook and each textbook for ancient, medieval, modern, and optional. This is more than enough. Confined to this, beyond that, never.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. The next question is from Ms. Saumya Kannan. Apart from sociology, what is the widely preferred subject when it comes for optional?
No, it's not just all the subject. If you see that you are mentioning sociology is widely preferred. No, actually, sociology is not widely. Every year it changes. Sometimes sociology would come at top. Sometimes history would come at top. Sometimes geography would come top. Sometimes PubBud would come. Many a time PubBud would come at top. Among these 4 subjects, if you go through the number of candidates writing for mains exam, among these 4 subjects, one would come over the another year based on the number of aspirants. So one subject always would come top is the wrong perception of it. If in the UP's website itself, it's available that you may cross-check it. Number of candidates appearing for mains exam in each optional is 2018, geography would be top. 2017, history would be top. Sometimes PubBud, sometimes sociology. These 4 subjects are there, always would be there. One among this would come top, most preferable.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for taking time for answering all our questions. May I now request Ms. Gracie to take over for a formal vote of thanks.
Good evening. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. It gives me immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks on the fourth day of the webinar series on turning crisis to opportunities. On behalf of the management, principal, vice principals, deans of students, Yati Shakti, the Students' League of Etraj College for Women, and faculty coordinators, I express my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Mr. P. Saranamurthy, Advocate, Madras High Court, for delivering lecture on Student to Civil Servant Challenges to Crack IAS Exam. Thank you, sir, for eliciting the schemes of civil services exam, throwing open the challenges and decoding the strategies to reach prospective solutions for our students who aspire to be qualified as civil officers. We thank you for easing the apprehension of cracking civil exams and vouchsafing palpable success to our student community. We hope that the students who attended the session would emerge as candidates potential enough to respond to the powerless civil call of the society in dire need at the present juncture. Thank you, sir, very much. I thank all the participants for their lively interaction. Thank you all once again. Participants are requested to kindly fill in the feedback form being posted in the live chat box to receive the e-certificate at the webinar series. Thank you.